All right, guys, we are live. We are live. Do we have all of the things going? Do we have everything working? Is the chat working? Is everything working? Let me know that. Okay, I hear myself doubled, so let me make sure. All right, let me mute this. I have like 5 different links going up. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. Okay, welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. Now, welcome, everyone. Welcome. We got Randy. We got Randy is a new mod, actually. So the official mod on the channel now. Welcome to Lake the Great. All right, so guys, we have some amazing things to talk about on the channel today. Even though the market is a little bit sideways, there's some fear in the market, but we have ultimately one of the most bullish guests that we could have on the channel today. And I want to give some kind of context of why I even have this person on the channel is because way back in 2021, whenever I started to get into crypto, there were these certain channels that were coming up in my algorithm, in my feed, and I thought to myself, man, this is so bullish to see someone this young and so enthusiastic about this market and was so ahead of her time when it came to actually being bullish on crypto. And that person is Miss Teen Crypto, aka Randy Hipper. Welcome to the channel. I want you guys to give her a very warm welcome. I know we have some of her community over here watching right now, but we also have my community. So guys, give her a warm welcome.
Hi, nice to see you guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm ready to get after it with you. I see everyone's popping in the chat. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody. Hello.
Yeah, everyone's coming in. Give them some time. Give them some time. You know, people either were sleeping in or they were just, the alarm clock kicking them out of the bed. But hopefully, they are awake and they are smelling that cafecito. I know you were talking about drinking a latte, and
Yeah,
saying,
I got a latte.
Yeah, I got a latte as well. You said, lattes are super bougie, and yes, my wife would say I'm indeed the most bougiest person when it comes to drinks and coffee. So, so cheers. We'll cheers our lattes together.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. All right, so first things first. Obviously, this is the first time you've been on this channel, and like I said, I discovered your channel in 2021. Can you believe that? Like your head popped up into my screen, and I was like, "Who is this? Who is this chick? Who is this chick?" And so I started to do a little bit more research. I was like, "Wow, okay." You've been really bullish on crypto for a while, so I want you to give my community just kind of a little backstory on how you got started into crypto and what made you start a YouTube channel and what has brought you to where you are now.
So when I was 13 in 2016, my dad told me about Bitcoin. And long story short, I thought he was absolutely insane. And what is this digital internet money? I thought it was for older people, bros in finance. I essentially didn't think I had a part in it. Then by the time I was 16 in 2019, we did our first Bitcoin and crypto transaction where I realized it's just scanning a QR code, copying, pasting a username or an address, and you can send money to anyone, anywhere in the world. You go into a shop, they either scan your phone or you scan their QR code, and you don't have to do any of that fiat transactions. When I know people my age, especially, and I can only imagine the younger generation is never going to use penny, nickels, and dimes. Even quarters are fading out. The only reason people use quarters is to maybe pay a meter, depending in what state and what technology they're using. Even that's mobile now. So I really thought this was going to change the way we transact forever. So there was a few $100s in my bank account, and I learned that you're supposed to keep your money in the bank, earn interest money on your money. Yet I never saw that, and my purchasing power was going down. So I figured put that in Bitcoin. By the time I was 17 in 2020, it was lockdown sad time. So I decided I'm going to create a social media, just Miss Teen Crypto, kind of just not putting my name out there, just a girl, a teen in crypto. Yeah. And so I was available on all platforms, created the social media, and people in my school thought I was crazy to begin with because I was such a super nerd. And then they thought I was even more crazy because I was doing this. And I just thought that this was what I wanted to do. It's how I wanted to kind of play a role in crypto. So I just started tweeting. morning. Started tweeting good morning crypto Twitter, started doing videos saying good morning crypto Twitter, and kind of started that. And then a lot of people took that, started saying GM and things like that. Moving on, I started making videos,
Are
hitting
you
the
the
streets and
GM
stuff.
founder? Wait a second. Are you the OG GM?
I don't know if I could. I don't know if like it's wrong of me to say, but like yeah, I was really like the first one to say good morning crypto Twitter, and then bigger accounts than me start kind of copying that, and saying, "Oh, good morning,
Damn.
let's do this and let's get after it." And then people just started saying GM. So it definitely was an evolution, but I was the first person to say good morning crypto Twitter, and
I
it was
will
kind of
say
like I
it
got
on this
copied a little
channel.
bit.
I'll say it on this channel now that you are the OG GM crypto. So we'll just squash it right here. She was the one, guys. She was the one. So you can totally
Thank you.
take credit for that, because I think if you think about it, like the younger generation, you know, they're a little naive. Yes, we're all naive. We all have our moments of naivety, but at the same time, you're thinking forward. You're thinking about the next generation. You're thinking about what is you know, what's the trajectory, what's the forward growth motion. And so you were already kind of tipped on that. And I think because of the fact of your age, you were able to kind of break through less of the programming. You know, you weren't programmed as hard as other people are. You got to think people in their 30s, 40s, and the boomers, they've been programmed to this in this system. So you were already kind of on that trajectory. So that's awesome. That's super cool to hear. And so now I'm curious, what are you working on now? Is there anything that you want to let the people out there know that you're excited to work on? I know I've noticed that you have already been going into schools. You've been going into colleges, I think, too, as well, universities, and talking about Bitcoin, talking about cryptocurrency, helping people on board just into this ecosystem and start to learn about it. So honestly, that's what makes me feel super bullish. It's gotten me bullish. It makes me think I don't work hard enough. Like I got to do more. Like I got to do what Randy's doing. I got to start going to schools. I got to start. I mean, oh yeah, and Fox Business, talking to what's his name, Payne.
Charles Payne.
Yeah, Charles Payne. Yeah, I think he's super bullish on you. So it's cool that you have someone like that on your side. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
I just want to say like kudos to you for doing that. So yeah, tell us about something that you'd like us to know and what you're working on currently.
Yeah, so I'm constantly working on things. There's a lot of stuff that I don't really come out and say I'm working on stuff until I know something's 100% official, but do know that like I'm working on really big things and to kind of move up a little bit in certain ways. But everything for me has been a journey, especially, with my streams and starting the Miss Teen Crypto show. That's now the Randy Hipper show, where I've had really great guests on the show. If you guys want to take a look at my YouTube channel, look at the Randy Hipper show playlist. And then I'm really focusing on the Daily Zest right now, which is my daily show Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. Eastern. I really want to grow it. I have been working on it for over a year now, over 400 episodes in. I think it was like 420 something today.
Nice.
So
awesome.
yeah, I'm on the road
milestone.
to 500 shows. Thank you. I'm really
Man.
excited for 500 shows and just getting down to the nitty gritty, reporting the news that I feel like people really don't talk about, especially the younger generation. I really want to focus on going to schools, and I've done workshops for kids from elementary school to adults. So I've done Bitcoin and crypto 101s, NFT 101s at conferences. So anywhere that I'm able to offer education, I do push for it. So more boots on the ground adoptions, more school, and more YouTube streams, and just making a creational, content on education, and just kind of just doing whatever I could to be creative in this space. I think sometimes we lack the marketing in the space and we lack the zest. And I really tried to put some energy into crypto.
And you 100% do. I mean, you do a really good
Thank
job.
you.
I told her off camera, I said, look, this whole stream is to shill you. That's the whole point of the stream. The whole point of the stream is just to shill Miss Teen Crypto, Randy, because I think she's doing a great job. So there's no product placement. She's the product, So we're shilling her right now. Go and just absolutely destroy the like button on all of her videos and give her a comment. And the algorithm is sometimes is nasty, so we got to make it zesty for her. So but it's cool. I see all your people came in. I see some of your OG people in here. So that's awesome. You have a great community.
Absolutely.
You have a very supportive community. So I love to get to know and collaborate with, the top people in the space. That's what we have to do in this community, because crypto honestly is it's kind of small bubble. I realized this when I went to Karate Combat in the Bitcoin conference, that I saw all the people that we are constantly going back and forth with and shooting the shit on Twitter and making videos together, and then we all end up in the same spot, and it's
Exactly.
so cool. So, and I ran into you, and so we'll talk a little bit about the Bitcoin conference and kind of what your experience was there. You also did the Litecoin Summit.
Yep.
So I think the fact that you're so bullish on Bitcoin, but then also you give some love to the Litecoin community as well. Yeah. And we'll have to get into a controversial conversation of what's better to hold over time, Litecoin or Bitcoin, and so that'll be zesty as well. So yeah, so yeah, I ran into you like 7 times at the Bitcoin conference, and I was super stoked. I was like, Randy, I probably felt like a fanboy. I was like, Randy, pay attention to me. But yeah, so what was your experience with the Bitcoin conference? What did you get out of it? What was the most bullish thing?
I really enjoyed just hanging around Nashville in general. I thought Bitcoin conference was interesting. I ran into a lot of people, asked companies certain questions that I wanted to find out. So it was good. I had got a little Bitcoin miner that was given to me as well. So that was really amazing.
Nice.
Shout out to Terra Hosting for that. But yeah, it was just really awesome. It was a really great experience. I was doing some interviews there. I was going to people's booths. So just seeing my friends and kind of just seeing how everyone's building was really refreshing. I was lucky to get into the Donnie T speech. So I saw him speak, and then I ran into RFK at Karate Combat, which was really awesome. And then so just a really good experience. And then I was at Litecoin Summit as well. So I was kind of all over the place. You saw me, you probably heard me by the end. My voice was completely gone. My throat was so sore.
Yeah,
it was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would briefly to mention about the Litecoin Summit. So you actually spoke at the Litecoin Summit. You weren't in the crowd. You were actually on stage. So so tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I did a keynote speech at the Litecoin Summit. I was closing out day 1. So if you guys go to the Litecoin Foundation YouTube channel, you should be able to go to the end of day 1. You'll see me there. And then they posted the clip separately on YouTube if you just want to watch that. But I highly encourage you to check out all the speakers as well. And I really loved it. It was about growing up in crypto, how like I grew up in crypto, but also we're all growing up in crypto because this technology is so new. Bitcoin is a teen right now. She's like 15 years old. What were you doing at 15 years old? You were all over the place. So I think it's kind of the same thing with Bitcoin right now, especially with price action. She's volatile. She's remaining in one spot right now. She's thinking, and that's is kind of how you relate to a teenager. So I kind of grew up with Bitcoin, and that's what I spoke about. I was also doing a ton of interviews, so I got to speak with Charlie Lee. I got to speak with Ben Askren. So I have all these interviews. I will be throwing them out into the interweb soon. But it was just really refreshing. It was really great, and the best part was Emma Foster, who is a 10-year-old moderator on my YouTube channel. She's been moderating the channel since she was 9. She's almost 11 now, which is insane. So her papa, John, brought her down to Litecoin Summit, and just seeing her was the highlight of probably my week, because just seeing the younger generation, and this is why I'm doing this, is to onboard the next generation. And I want to be partially responsible for mainstream adoption. I really want to change the world, and seeing kids like Emma show up to the conference really just like kind of lit more of a fire under me, because I realized that, there are younger kids watching the show, and that's exactly what I want. I really want people to watch the show, embrace it, and tell their friends, and onboard like all these kids into crypto. Like, this is who's going to be using the technology, not the boomers.
I just got chills. I got like
the
coffee.
Stop it.
Maybe it's the double latte that I just had that I just got like a surge of caffeine.
The espresso.
But I think it might be the espresso like pouring into my veins. But no, when you said I am going to be onboarding the next generation of crypto users, that got me so bullish, and I literally just got chills, because this is the work. Like, we have to protect the next generation, and what is happening currently in the past 4 years, as we've had hyperinflation of the dollar and debasing of the currency, and ultimately that is skewing all of the prices of goods and services. And ultimately, goods and services in America and goods and services in general, when you have a country that you're trying to keep up and keep the citizens, at least a baseline of basic needs to provide for them, it's getting harder and harder for people to just exist in this system. So it's awesome that you are teaching people young, so then they understand this and they don't have to fall into the same trap that like you said, that the boomers, we've been programmed into this system, so it's really awesome that you're doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Got me bullish, man. Oh my gosh.
I knew it was gonna be.
I was just gonna be like a blabbering bullish mess when you came on the channel, because you get me bullish. You get me bullish. I'm stoked.
That's
super
sweet.
stoked. Yeah. So I would love to know what you think about the current market situation. We had obviously a big wick down to hit the trend line. I'll pop up the chart here. Let me know if you can see the chart. Okay. Yeah. So if you can see here, this is the Bitstamp chart, and I have a trend line drawn all the way from the bottom of 16,000. Basically, 15,000 was our bottom here. Drew the trend line, and what was so great, I called this trend of Bitcoin, at least if we're gonna get magnetic to this previous support level right here in this box range was 51. We ended up going right to it and then wicking right down to that trend line, and we bounced off that trend line. So I want to know what your thoughts are for the short term with Bitcoin. Could we be going lower, or are we going to finally cross that 200-day moving average? I'm sure you as well know with your TA that Bitcoin has been getting rejected off the 200-day moving average. So curious to what you think.
Usually the 200-day SMA humbles us, which I feel, although she has quite often, because we rejected it. We were at 62K almost, and then we had that wick down to the 49, and then we came back up pretty nicely. Though we did reject the 200-day SMA, we're struggling to hold 60K. Short term, I really don't like to give price predictions or whatever, but I think Bitcoin never ceases to amaze me, and I really don't see, even at this point, where the selling pressure is coming from. You could say that it was the ETFs. You could say it was Mt. Gox, but how many times have we heard this before? And I just think it's FUD, and Bitcoin needed to cool off. If you look, she's still up 104%. At the height for the year, it was like 160, right? So it needed to come down a nice chunk. So I think this was the proper retracement that Bitcoin needed. Obviously, number can't always go straight up. And if you look at the past, how long has Bitcoin ever really been above 56K? Really has never been up there long. So this is a completely new range for Bitcoin to discover. And I rather chop it up now, have some drawdowns, liquidate people over there at 49K, and maybe liquidate people if it shoots back over 70, just so you could clear out all these people trying to mess around with the market and play games and see who's really staying around.
Yes, I love that. It's a great point. That's a great point. You gotta let the market kind of get flushed out a little bit. You see the maturity. The chart keeps maturing. Like you said, Bitcoin is still growing. It's 15 years old. It's like a teenager. We've said that before too. It's like crypto is going through growing pains. It has to but what's great though is that for the past 2-3 years, all the skeletons have come out of the closet. We've had the Terra Luna. Thank God that Terra Luna crashed when it did. Imagine it crashing at the height of the bull market, and it would just complete turmoil. So, and imagine FTX doing the same thing. Imagine FTX, like when everything is just like, oh my God, it's like, and I think it almost kind of did that. It was like the price was about to break out, and all of a sudden FTX and Tom Brady getting wrecked. And then everything just starts to crash down. So yeah, the skeletons came out of the closet. So I'm glad about that. But I'm curious, what do you think about the cup and handle pattern that people have been calling for the monthly, weekly chart? I love that the cup and handle target is the classic depth of the cup. You got the depth of the cup here. You get the handle going, breakout, and the target for that is past 100K. How do you feel about that?
I'm looking back at my tweets right now. I'm trying to find this information here, because I actually posted the cup and handle. You can share
your screen too. You share your screen real quick, and I'll put it on.
I don't know where did this all go? I think my I think Twitter bookmarks is playing games with me right now, because I did post this cup and handle like quite a long time ago, and so I've been watching the cup and handle. It's been there for a while. The only thing people were saying when I posted it was like, "Oh my gosh, the handle isn't big enough." Well, I think it got a little bit bigger for you to validate it just a little bit more. So I definitely think the cup and handle is handling, and we'll see if it really takes off. I think it's really a macro thing to look at, because people want that that instant gratification where that handle had to build. She's built. So we'll see if we take a deeper dip and kind of create a longer handle, or if we just kind of give way. And I don't see again where the selling pressure is coming from. We haven't had a real explosive move with Bitcoin for a long time. The fact that what was it, 12 to 20% move the other day? Let me measure it. It was boom, boom. It was 12%. Okay, so you're telling me this 12%. Go ahead and
share your screen. Go ahead and share your screen. I'll take my screen off, and you can get yours on there.
Hold up. Let's see. Screen tab. Yeah. Like you're telling me this 12% move was the biggest move in a day we've had with Bitcoin since like over a year ago, or since last year. That's absolutely lame.
Yeah,
that's absolutely lame. So that's telling me right there and then that there's bigger moves in store for Bitcoin. That if this was the biggest move we've had since last year, then what are we doing? We got to wait. You got to stay freaking patient. We remember last bull market, the moves we started to have, these nice jumps, but it was a nice steady build. And then it came down and needed to retrace, and it slowly built back up. You could see during what I call nap time, during
nice.
FTX. Yeah. From November 2022 to January 23, that was nap time. This was a decisive moment where people were like, okay, we're either going to 10K or we're going back up. So people were majority saying 10K. We built back up. We took a dip, moved back up, took a dip. Right here, we went up to 30K, came back down to 25. People said it was over again. And that's when we built back up. We crossed the 200-day SMA, and we had a really nice run. Now we're back with the 200-day SMA. What happens next? All this tells me is that there's bigger things in store for Bitcoin.
Yeah, love it. I love that TA, and you have great TA too. I'd say that.
Oh, thank you.
Probably and I'll be honest with you. Like when I started to think that I was gonna do TA, I was like, I'm like, I don't know shit. I'm like, I don't know shit. Like I like, and I'm sure everyone has felt that. Like, but you learn. It's like you kind of you quote fake it till you make it, but you just have to get yourself in the charts. You got to just analyze them, start drawing some things around, and people are gonna make fun of you and say, oh, nice kindergarten drawings, bro, your TA really works. But then the more you start to actually do it, and something plays out when you actually drew a line and the candle goes up into that line, and you're like, yes, my TA works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's fun. So actually I will say that I've pulled TA from all of these great channels. One of them being your channel. So I think it's very humbling to get some TA from at a point you were a teenager. I'm sitting over here like an old 30-year-old going, how do I?
Listen, I'm learning too, and I wouldn't understand the charts as good as I do if it wasn't for Market Cypher. I think it really paints like such a great picture, and it's nice and colorful, so you know what you're looking at, type thing. So I think we need more of Market Cypher in crypto.
Yes, sure. Market Cypher. Yeah. So sadly, I'm gonna reveal myself here. CryptoFace is probably gonna literally ban me from his entire existence. I'm using a free Market Cypher version of an indicator, and so maybe you'll have to contact CryptoFace for me. He'll get me set up on Market Cypher.
You should try to reach out to him. I do have a code though. If anyone wants, code Zesty 15% off.
Yes, I will actually I'll copy that from your channel, and I'll put that in this description. So guys, if you want to directly support Randy, you can use her Market Cypher code, and you guys will get a discount. And maybe I guess I got to use that code too, huh?
It's really good. It's awesome. I love Market Cypher. I have such a good time with it. I love it so much. Bless CryptoFace. He's great.
Yeah, and so it's great. You got it's got a money flow. So the Market Cypher is kind of if you explain Market Cypher to say like a 5-year-old, it's got the money flow in there. What else it has in there that you need that'll help you find the market moves.
Well, you have your momentum, you got your money flow, you got your VWAP, and then you have a few other things that are going on in there. It depends really on the one you're using, but yeah, I think all of it's really great, and I love it so much. There's Market Cypher. Hold on, I think Market Cypher A, B, and then is it called AB? Is the last one? Hold on, I'm gonna look at my indicators right now.
Yeah, and you can go ahead and pull it up, and we'll pull it up on the screen so people.
Oh, you know what? I could actually look at the Market Cypher website and be smart. Okay, hold on. Market Cypher trading. Yeah, let's do that. So Market Cypher is fire. Let me grab your restream. Okay, hold on. tab. Boom. Yeah, so this is great because you could, it's not just for crypto, it's for everything. So you just plug it into TradingView. You have which is your trend analysis, the oscillator, which is what more of like, you know, what I'm vibing with is Market Cipher B, because that has everything laid out for you. Like you see the money flow is the red or the green. You see where the momentum of the market's going. The VWAP, you have the RSI that's also on this. How can I forget? So I love this very, very much, especially where you have the red and the green dot kind of showing you where the market may go. Then you have SR, which is your support resistance, and then the DBSI, which is the dual band strength index, which I'm still learning a little bit myself. But I really love it, and I think it's so great. There's a free members only Discord, so once you sign up in your settings, you'll see that there's a Market Cipher Discord that you just put your username and it gets you in the Discord. So it's really great. I really recommend Market Cipher for anyone that wants to use it. There's the pricing and everything like that if you want to go check it out, and under pricing. And like I said, you get 15% off if you use my code. So, and there's intro videos as well. CryptoFace has a lot of videos on this, and I watched all of them. So I definitely recommend it.
Yeah. I haven't done my due diligence with the Market Cipher, so this is actually going to get me on it. So I've been just trying to test out the free one and trying to understand, you know, we got the money flow, we got the VWAP, we got the sell buy signals here with the green and red dots, and so awesome. I love that explanation. Thank you very much. I mean, do they not pay you already to talk about Market Cipher? They should if they're not.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you did a great job. All right, and CryptoFace's ears are burning right now. He's like, CryptoFace is awesome. Yeah, they are partners of my show, so thank gosh, they were really one of the first, and I appreciate them very much. Awesome. All right, so I'm trying to think of where we could go with this stream because we have a little bit more time left. I don't know how much time you have, but we usually stream for at most an hour, you know, or 45 minutes. So I think we're at the 30-minute mark here. So, do you want to get into some altcoins? Do you want to get into some news? Do you want to?
Yeah, anything you want to do.
Some bullish news that's broke. I mean, God, we got like all tap to pay that's going to be happening with Apple. They opened up their chipset to be able to accept third-party integration to be able to do tap to pay. I mean, we got MetaMask has the debit card in UK. God, what else? I mean, there's so much bullish stuff. I don't understand why there's fear in the market. I mean, people should be like super bullish right now.
Well, who else is talking about it besides the nerds in crypto, right? Like, if the mainstream media chooses not to cover it, then that's where a lot of the attention comes from. So I think you know, also the way the media paints a picture of certain things is very obvious nowadays, and they never really paint the most positive picture about crypto because they don't want people to buy, and they want the BlackRocks to buy. They want all these other smarter money, quote unquote, to buy first before retail gets a hit. And by the time they want retail to know about it is by the time they pretty much have everything locked down, and maybe Operation Choke Point goes full-fledged.
Choke Point. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk a little about Operation Choke Point, because not many people, quote, I guess the normies, if you were to tell them, yeah, man, Operation Choke Point, they'd be like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
So explain to people what Operation Choke Point is. We have mentioned it a few times on this channel, obviously, and we get kind of meta. We try not to get political, but nowadays it's kind of hard not to get political because it's the conversation of this election, and honestly, like, monetary policy is the conversation for any election. And if you want your country to survive, you want to be voting for someone, or at least be in tune with the people that are voting for the people and for them preserving their wealth and the money in the country. So tell people a little bit about Choke Point and what that entails.
Well, Operation Choke Point is basically just, they could say it's not political, but it is a political war against crypto, where the banks just want to cut off every single crypto business, whether that's an exchange, a wallet, whatever it may be, from banking services. So even though the banks cannot technically, because of SAB 121, custody crypto, they are still dealing with dollars, and they just don't want to deal with crypto crypto people's dollars. And he was even brought by Tom Emmer to Gary Gensler saying, is it because people are withdrawing millions of dollars every day from the banks because they're fearful of the banks and putting it into crypto? Is that why this is happening? And Gary was like, meh. Like he couldn't really answer the question as he usually does. He dances around it like a true actor. So I thought that's basically what Operation Choke Point 2.0 is. And maybe the next admin will not have that, and hopefully that does come into play, because we cannot have it anymore. And I think people should be entitled, you know, it just comes back to the fundamentals of America. Like we should all be able to run a business even if it's not politically agreed upon.
Exactly. And then basically, you know, what Bitcoin solves is that cross-border limitation. It cracks the borders, it cracks all of that. It basically makes it to where if you are a participating node, then you are part of the community. It's not if you have a good ESG score, it's not if you have a certain color, or if you're supporting whatever this and that. It's like once you onboard yourself into Bitcoin, then you are part of a complete sovereign you know, trustless system. All you got to do is trust that the miners are hashing, and there you go. So
yeah, 100%. And miners give us the ground that we stand on every single day. I think it's just a matter of time, and I don't think they really tell you the real numbers of people that took money out of the bank and started to buy crypto.
Yeah, and I don't know if you believe, I don't know if you think this would be the case as well. If banks are smart, if they're smart, they'll take some of that liquidity. They could be custodians themselves. It's just like, think about how BlackRock is and Van Eck and all these different you know, institutions are custodian Bitcoin for people through the ETF.
Well, it's really the Coinbase and Geminis that are doing that.
Or yeah, Coinbase. Yeah,
like they're
Coinbase
the custodians and then the ETF issuers. Yeah. But yeah, they're all connected basically. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Good point. Good point to make. Yeah, that actually Coinbase is holding the majority of that Bitcoin and Ethereum. But just imagine that Bank of America gets the green light, or these national banks actually get the green light to hold Bitcoin themselves. And then in the Bank of America app, you see that you have a Bitcoin wallet. Now that is a very hopeful future. Because then that just means that, like, if you can't beat them, join them. The banks end up getting some of that liquidity, because you think like they could have issue stablecoin. They could say, hey, if you want to cash out your Bitcoin into USD, go right ahead. You know, well, we're going to charge you a fee for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it could be a really great way for banks to actually kind of flip the script and start pulling in some money by being bullish on crypto. What do you think?
It's just like kind of how, like, you know, if you look at the history of money, where they just started to, like, banks were like, oh, we're a thing now, and you can store your gold with us, you know, like we'll take part in that, and maybe we'll give you this receipt that's paper representing your gold. And so I think that's kind of where I think Bitcoin and crypto may go in terms of a portion of it. I think majority of it will always be decentralized. It's never going to take away from the decentralization of the system. However, I do think they're going to say, hey, like, you know, deposit your Bitcoin and crypto with us, and we'll just give you this receipt saying that this is your Bitcoin and crypto. Whether that just be money in your bank account or just like a little tab that's in your account, something to that degree. And it's just a matter of, if you buy Bitcoin through a bank, will they let you withdraw it? Will they let you send it to another person, like Cash App almost lets you do, where you have your fiat and then you have your Bitcoin on the app as well that you could send to people, even stocks. So I think that's something you have to think about. And I personally think it's something that maybe people can wish for because they feel safer mentally with it. But at the same time, with the decline of the banks and them being completely over leveraged and basically having no reserves, where are the proof of reserves on the banks? Then why would you store your Bitcoin with the bank if they're just going to take it from you anyway, just like they could take your money right now? So it comes down to the fundamentals and whether you care about that or not, and if you trust them or you don't.
That amazing point. So I like the fact that you say, you know, you're either going to trust them to custodian the Bitcoin for you, or you're going to make that choice yourself and be the custodian. So I know you preach a lot about self-custodian. It's not your keys, not your crypto.
Amen.
And that was apparent when it came to when the shit hit the fan with Celsius. People learned real fast that Bitcoin that was on their account was not their Bitcoin, because they I mean, it's only taken till literally now that they were able to get some of that back, and then they're still trying to claw back some of that stuff from the people. So if you ever heard about clawbacks, where they're literally are still through the courts trying to take that crypto from you to be able to cover their lawsuits and their bankruptcies, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I would agree, especially
Yeah.
if you look at, when Celsius collapsed and then BlockFi and then FTX, you saw how really intertwined all the hedge funds, VCs, and exchanges were, where everyone was owing this person something. They're still working out things from 2021, 2022. Like, dude, like this is actually ridiculous. And why would you want your money to be tied up in a mess? It's all like, you're just really trusting other people and their psyche. And I just don't trust people and their psyche in this day and age.
Yeah. And it's good that you have that mentality now, because it'll make you such a good owner in the future of your own wealth, your own assets, and you'll make better deals with having that type of mindset. You're not going to go into something that's dodgy and that you're like, wait a second, like how much actual risk and counterparty risk am I going to get into by making this quote deal, or even going into, say, a mortgage? I think what we have been sold is a mixed bag of lies of security when it comes to debt. Debt's only good if you're able to successfully manage it and use it to your ability. But when debt starts to be the
anchor,
the anchor, which pulls you down, and then you're just like, oh, I can't get out, and you're subject to interest rates all the time. You're thinking about interest rates at a point where you can just say, hey, I don't need to worry about an interest rate because I own the damn thing. I made the choice to be able to say, look, I'm going to actually own it and not worry about the interest rate. I'm going to actually be a owner. And so, great points, man. Great points, Randy. It's really cool that you're on that track already. So, and the fact that you're teaching this to the younger generation is also super important, because this is what people need to know about. They need to learn about this, because it's ultimately going to protect them from getting into, quote, what we call the matrix system. So
absolutely. It is scary. And someone in the chat, Walsey, said, if crypto is not a security, then why does the SEC oversee it? It's because nobody steps in and there's no checks and balances left over here, dude. That's exactly why. Because if there were checks and balances, people would call them out and say, hey, that's a little bit of overreach. It's been overreach. And the courts have proved that, which is also why FIT 21 is really important. The Financial Innovation and Technology Act for the 21st century. That's why it's important, because it'll break down what the SEC has jurisdiction over, and if it's a commodity, then the CFTC would oversee it, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So I think that's where regulation and legislation comes into play. But at the same time, it's like you can't regulate a space like this. That's just code. So it's really almost a philosophical war.
Yes, yeah.
On how to handle a technology that cannot be classified as anything else, right? Because they try to relate it to stocks, they try to relate it to gold, they try to relate it to, I don't even know what they try to compare it to nowadays, but it just doesn't fit. You could say it's property, you could say it's a store of value, you could say it's currency. It's too many things to be classified as one.
Yeah, because it's its own thing in its essence. I mean, it's built from the failures of our system. So and what you mentioned is that code is free speech, and actually Richard Hart, whether you like Richard Hart or not, Richard Hart is very, very smart, and he explains this about how code is free speech, and all it is a program, and it's up to what people are using it for. It denotes what it's like when you use Bitcoin, and like Elizabeth Warren and all these people that are scammers themselves, they say, well, it's used for drug trafficking, it's used for this, and it's used for that, so it should be banned. And it's like, okay, well then ban knives from ever being in kitchens. Ban my stove because it got too hot and I touched it and it burned me, so ban the stove. That's how you have to think about Bitcoin. It's like how it's being used is how it's going to ultimately,
No, I'm with you 100%. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. I start to think about that and I'm like, man, they really gotta get their heads on straight. But
I agree.
I thank you so much, Randy, for coming on this channel. If there's anything else you guys want to know about, do you want to know what kind of altcoins she's into? Because we got her on the channel. We're here. We got her locked in for at least a couple more minutes. So would you want to go through what are your favorite picks for this bull run? You know, we want to get into something like that.
I don't really do like, picks into anything because I don't want people to get mad at me. But I always love Bitcoin. I always love Ethereum, and I always love Litecoin. And my proof of work coins, especially, like I think whether you like it or not, Doge is going to play a role in the next bull run, especially with X payments that could possibly become a thing. And then, you just have money. What are you going to use as money? I've already used Doge as money. I've used Ethereum as money. I've used Bitcoin as money. I've used, even DigiByte as money. So, those are really what I'm watching, what's feasible and what is actually going to be used within the next bull run. And what I think could be long lasting.
Yeah, and so you said like things like Dogecoin. You actually did a really cool reel that you bought some pizza in Brooklyn.
Yes.
I think it was with some Dogecoin.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was at Williamsburg Pizza in Manhattan. It was the Lower East Side. They have 5 locations throughout Brooklyn and Manhattan. So wherever you're at, you could go and you could just walk in and you get 25% off your order if you pay with Dogecoin. And it's so simple. You just scan a QR code and that's it.
Boom, boom. And so the thing that I've been actually trying to explain to my audience is that, we've obviously seen that there is a push for memes and for meme culture. I believe that it's actually a great onboarding process for people to get into crypto because I think each chain needs a mascot. I think crypto in a sense, like because there is a lot of tech and a learning curve that comes with getting into crypto, that people need to not hit that as their first wall because then they're going to go away. They're going to be like, no, I don't want to learn this. I don't want to do this right now. But if you have a fun character, you have something like Pepe or Doge or Shiba Inu or whatever it may be that, it becomes the ultimate mascot. It helps people to have some fun. It lightens up the idea of like, oh, I'm in it for the tech. Like, you don't give a crap about the tech. You just want something to go up and and something to be a little bit cheaper than what Bitcoin or say Ethereum is. And my thesis is that people are going to open up that Coinbase app, and once Bitcoin is at $80,000, they're going to go, damn it. Okay, I only have $100 to invest. What am I going to buy? What am I going to buy? And they're going to realize that, damn, I could get a lot more Doge for my $50 or my $100 than I can get, say, 0.0001 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
No, I think that a lot of people do go with that mentality because they want that 10x. They just want to see number go up more, which I do think in altcoins you might see an explosive 10, 20x. But I think a lot of people rule out the power of Bitcoin, and people are like, oh, the top of the bull run would be $150,000. That's barely a 2x, bro. I think we have I think we have some moves to see with Bitcoin, and I really think people underestimate how powerful it is, especially where you have these institutions coming in, people all over the world experiencing massive inflation where their only escape really is Bitcoin and crypto. So I think people are discounting Bitcoin a lot. And if I think people could rule out a possibility of a 5-10x with Bitcoin. Not saying that's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know nothing. But I do think that people discount it a lot, and they think they'll find a 10x somewhere else because they don't think the Bitcoin has the ability to do that.
It's 100%, yeah. Because I think we have to be honest with ourselves. The only reason you hold an altcoin is you think it's going to perform better than Bitcoin. And if it's not going to perform better than Bitcoin, then you might as well just hold Bitcoin and take the risk out.
Well, some people believe in other technologies. Like a lot of people believe in Litecoin. A lot of people believe in Ethereum. A lot of people believe in Solana. So they're going to hold that because that's where their conviction lies. But I do think a lot of people do try to, make the quick buck with altcoins and then actually put it back into Bitcoin.
Exactly. Yeah. So I had this super hilarious chart. I call it the most bullish kindergartner drawing of all time. It's where you see the market cycle of where it starts with BTC and you got arrows going in a circle, and it goes Bitcoin, ETH. People start to realize that the memes and the dexes and all those different tokens that go into Ethereum, then they end up recycling it right back into Bitcoin, and then the market cycle just starts to continue. It's just kind of like almost a rinse and repeat. And these are the people that have been in crypto. They've been in the cycles. They know that's how the market ends up going, is that look, once, and we saw this with Solana, and I want to get your thoughts on Solana because this is how Solana was able to actually get right back up into its ranges of its all-time highs, because people started to say, okay, there's these memes that are releasing, I gotta buy some Solana to swap into the meme. They make it 3x. What do? They swap it back into Solana, and then quote, there goes the run. So I'm curious what you think about Solana, and could Solana get to $1,000 in this bull run?
Man, Solana never ceases to amaze me either. I mean, it's the only blockchain that could go down over a dozen times and people still want to use it. So that's very surprising to me.
Yeah.
So where Solana's at now already shocks me. Could it go to if anything in crypto never surprises me. When I started misting crypto, how much was Ethereum? $190. And
Wow.
now we're talking about if it's going to break a $4,000 plus all-time high. So nothing surprises me in crypto, especially with something like Solana. Like ETH didn't have the downtime, but Solana's had all the downtime. But nonetheless, like there's liquidity there. There's people that are willing to trade and go through the ups and downs with it. And there's great projects there. I always say there's great projects on Solana. So does it have longevity if people keep pumping it up and the VC stay behind it? If celebrities keep putting out meme coins with it, then yeah, it has a future. Other than that, I really do not know, because I'm worried one day this thing is going to shut off and not come back. But I don't know. The devs got to stay on it and keep fixing it.
The dev better never shut his eyes or her eyes at all, or we're screwed. And the team better work 24 hours. And no, yeah, you make good points. You make very good points. Like, it is one of the chains that has had these complications. It has shut off about 5 times, and people still use it. So it's a kind of like a mentality that is like break things and just to see where it goes. And on the flip coin of that, you know, then we have projects and chains like Cardano. We have Charles Hoskinson, where they take a long time to build out their roadmap, but it's because they don't want to necessarily take the Solana approach and break things and then ask for forgiveness later. So he
doesn't want to overpromise and underdeliver, which is fine.
Yeah, and I think that's a good strategy. On the flip side of that too, you have less onboarding adoption, and you have people kind of maybe a little bit late to the boat, or they just don't study Cardano just for that fact. Because Solana, I'll tell you what, Solana's got a great PR campaign. Solana's got a great onboarding process of getting people into crypto. And I would say that if Cardano wants to kind of beef it up a little bit, Charles Haas is going to have a little bit more, has to use a little bit more than his pig emojis and pig memes for Nike.
Yeah. Oh, Charles.
But Charles is awesome though. Charles has always been a beacon in the space. If you guys don't know who Charles Hoskinson is, I mean, he's the co-creator of Ethereum along with Gavin Wood and obviously Vitalik Buterin. And apparently Vitalik Buterin has a girlfriend now, right?
Oh, that's good for him. He needs a girlfriend. I think every crypto nerd needs a girlfriend.
Yeah, and people have been like thinking that he's been selling some ETH probably to support the girlfriend. I'm just kidding.
Listen, bro, like he needs to buy her a nice Louis Vuitton, some red bottoms.
Yeah, I could go into some more jokes about Vitalik, but it probably would get too X-rated.
Poor Vitalik.
But no, shout out to Vitalik. But yeah, so what? Anything else? Any other coins you're bullish on?
I'm just bullish on life, liberty, and property. That's what I'm bullish on. The
Yes.
fundamentals of America. I'm bullish on the fundamentals of Bitcoin and crypto. I'm very patriotic in a sense because I care about this country, and I also care about every single individual outside of this country. I root for the prosperity of every single person in mankind, and I think that strongly. Bitcoin not only unites the states, it will and is uniting the entire world. And I want to see to it and that it happens.
Love it. I think we should just end the show right there because that was like a perfect statement. We don't want
Thank you.
to we want to end on a good note, but oh my gosh, yeah. So thank you so much, Randy, for coming on the channel. This is really just an honor for you to grace us with your presence and for my community to get to know you a little bit better. And I guarantee you now you're going to have some of my people who've been watching my channel go and watch your channel if they weren't already doing so. And hopefully vice versa. We got the Miss Teen Crypto crew onboarded onto the Dano crypto community as well. So
yes,
nice
and Retro gifting the 5 memberships in the chat. Mr. Yee out here giving out those membership rays.
There we go.
Yeah,
awesome.
Pimp up those memberships, guys. Enjoy them. Use the emojis.
yes. We actually are the only channel that we have Pepe. We have Pepe emojis in there, so you can.
That's hilarious. I see it.
You can post your Pepes in there.
I love it. One day, hopefully, I get a membership here. I want that membership ree.
Yeah, awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, so we had a total of 190 people watching. We got 22 people watching on YouTube. We had 168 people watching on X. So shout out to all you guys. Thank you so much. So yeah, you brought them out. You bring them out. Randy brings them out. All right. So do you have any? I don't know if your soundboard will work on my stream, but like we can test it. We can see.
Did you hear that? No,
no, but
it doesn't work.
Oh man, I know because you have the best soundboards. I love your Gary your Gary on there and all the.
Oh my gosh, I love it too. I just don't think I could connect it, which is sad because the only input. Yeah.
Yeah, Restream is a little weird. They got to update that so I can get all the sounds. And I try and play my own music, it doesn't work. But all right, guys, you are awesome. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for being supportive and sending all the love to Randy and send her all the good energy in the world. She actually you just moved, right? So you got set up in your new place.
Thank gosh, yes.
Yeah, so you escaped from New York. Literally, it was like a movie, Escape from New York, starring Randy.
Oh, and how quick it happened. Thank God. Because now I see things are going really south over there and I'm happy I'm not a part of it. So yay.
But yeah, so we're happy. Yeah, we're happy you're safe and sound in your new spot. And everyone go and make sure you subscribe to Randy Hipper's channel. I think it's at Miss Teen Crypto still, right? But your name, if you type in, so if you type in Miss Teen Crypto, she'll pop up. There are like, I've noticed there's like 20 fake accounts or something like that on there. So like people are trying to copy you like. Yeah, on every single platform, we got fake people. So make sure the links that are in this description of the video should be the correct links for you to subscribe to her channel. And again, thank you so much for coming on. And yeah, God bless you and your family and your dad for being bullish on crypto, getting you into
Thank you.
crypto.
He's actually modding your chat right now.
Oh, awesome. Yes, let's go.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you very much. I appreciate your community. You're very sweet. And thank you for putting up for my move for me to get to this point. And I appreciate it. I know it took like a week or two and then Nashville got in between us a little bit. But yeah, I'm happy I'm here now and we got this going, and I hope to come back soon. You're really cool. And I appreciate every single person. Please like and subscribe and share this darn stream out with friends, people. Let's do it.
Be evangelistic, yes. And I want you guys to put a 1 in the chat if you want to see a possible like normal stream between with me and Randy, where we maybe do this like, I don't know, like once a week or something like that. We'd make it like a normal thing. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that should be a thing. I don't know. I think that should be a thing. I would love for that to happen. So yeah, let's put some 1s in the chat. Put some comments in the and put your thoughts in the comment section below if you would like me and Miss Teen Crypto, Miss Randy, to do some normal collaborations together, because I think that's super bullish.
Yes, guys, smash the likes, share this out. Let's get after it. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:45 a.m. Eastern. Yay.
Yes, tune into her stream and tune into mine. And guys, thank you so much. We will see you on the next live stream. Peace. All right. Yeah. That was Randy. She's so awesome. Peace, guys. We'll see you next time.